everyone, this is Kat. Um, Today I'd like to speak on the topic of whether or not stories are truly just stories, fiction being just fiction. We commonly hear it today that it's just a story, it's just fiction, but in reality, fiction in general has a basis in some factual things. All stories come from somewhere, so there is truth in all stories. So, can we honestly say fiction is always just fiction? Whenever we're trying to brush off certain things like demonic entities, witchcraft, and so on and so forth, the elites are commonly putting all of that in our faces through games we play and the media that we watch. I'm not saying don't watch shows or play games or watch movies. If I were, that would be hypocrisy currently. But I am gonna say, because the elites keep on putting so much supernatural stuff all in our faces through all the things we watch, and they keep putting magic in shows, and it's just everywhere these days, that you can quite literally, if you know what to look for, you can wake yourself up by watching. The entire purpose of what the elites are doing are to try to put you to sleep to these things. But if you pay attention, you can actually use these to wake yourself up. So instead of going with the it's just fiction mentality, think about what you're watching and why it would be there. Because fiction is not just fiction, my friends. Fiction always has a basis in reality. All stories always come from somewhere or something. And my personal experience with trying to write stories and such, you have to be very familiar with what you're writing about in order to write a cohesive story on it. It's just a way of it. So, ask yourself why there's so much occult things if the people who are actively making all of it do not actually believe in any of it. Why are they so familiar with the occult? They supposedly have no experience with it. In fact, where does the need to write a bunch of spooky movies come from if they're not familiar with the supernatural and they want you to think it's not real? I'm sorry, but you have to be familiar with the supernatural. In order to write about the supernatural, you have to be familiar with the occult in order to write about the occult. Realistically, I hope all of you are actually stopping to think about all of this right now, because it's kind of obvious what's going on in the media and who actually is in charge of everything. Like, no matter how you slice it and dice it, even if you want it to be something else, even if you're skeptical, you have to admit it's a bit sus. I'm just hoping that this will at least get people to stop and think, and maybe it'll help them wake up from the slumber. Because I personally do not play video games mindlessly anymore. I'm always analyzing all the details of any shows and movies that I watch. Because I don't pretend like the satanic stuff isn't there, because it is. But it's also good to be aware of just what you're watching. When you're watching something or playing a game, you need to be aware. That's all for now. I'll see everybody next time.